Hey, ladies, welcome to Black Women Making Money. It is officially Money Monday. I am here maybe for about a half hour today. Got some things to talk with you ladies about today. We're going to talk about the fact that the Democrats suck, but the Republicans aren't much better. We're going to talk a little bit of a messy money topic with Miss Usha Vance and Mr. JD Vance. I was supposed to come here and talk about this stuff last week, but life was lifing. Business was businessing. And even today, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I'm here. We're going to talk a little bit about economic irrelevance. And if we have time, we're going to talk about freelancers getting paid. Freelancers getting paid. So as you are coming in, please hit the like button for me. Share the stream with a fellow upwardly mobile Black woman. And I am going to put on the 90-second clock, give people a chance to come in. And then we're going to get this party started. Well, I thought I was going to put my 90-second clock on. StreamYard has changed stuff. And yeah, it is not where it used to be. So anyway, well, look, we're just going to do our thing here. I want to actually ask everybody again, if you could hit the like button for me. If you can hit the like button for me, usually with the 90-second clock, I have a chance to click a couple of final things, but StreamYard is not doing what I expect it to do. Yeah, all right. Well, it's going to be one of those broadcasts, I guess. All right. Okay, so let's talk about the Democrats and Republicans. So I was supposed to come here last week and talk about the fact that the shutdown was over. The week before, there was practically a blowout with regards to the Democrats winning a lot of their elections. And then all of a sudden, the Democrats caved with regards to what they were demanding. One of the big things that they said they were demanding and looking for was the subsidies for healthcare. I don't know if you ladies have gone on the exchanges or if you know what's happening with healthcare, but basically with Obamacare, there were subsidies that were being offered in order to reduce the healthcare costs. And open enrollment for healthcare started the beginning of November. Well, like 3 or 4 days into open enrollment starting, the Democrats caved on the healthcare subsidies. So people are starting to see their healthcare numbers just skyrocket. And everybody was expecting that because, let's be real, the Democrats, they were holding out with regards to these subsidies. And the Republicans were like, no, we don't want to do the subsidies. I've been saying this since Trump won, that the prices weren't going down. I personally didn't think Kamala was going to be able to get the prices down either. We've been talking on this channel about the fact that the prices aren't going down. Here's the problem that you have is that in healthcare and with healthcare, the costs have gone up tremendously. Costs have gone up tremendously. The Democrats suck because I live like just outside of the Metro DC area, but I have a lot of friends and people I know that work within Capitol Hill area with the federal government, with federal government contractors. And I was like, then why did you let the government not be open for a month if you all were going to just cave? And I don't care what anybody says. The Democrats basically caved. They basically caved. The prices ain't going down. The Democrats don't care if the prices go down. The Republicans don't care if the prices go down. We don't talk on this channel about the way things should be. We talk about the way things are. And the prices are not going down. The only way that your wages are going to go up is if you get your skills together and your networks together. I know I'm a broken record with saying it, but look, the winning of Zohran Mamdani and a couple of other people, the Democrats in the states, in the cities, were running on what? Affordability, affordability. People just want to feel like they can go to the grocery store and purchase their groceries and not leave with one bag that costs $50, right? That's what people are looking for. They were flocking to Zohran Mamdani. I don't know who this person is, but let me get rid of them. I'm going to ban this person here. Okay, sorry about that. People were voting for Zohran Mamdani. They were voting for the other Democrats because the Democrats were saying in the states and the cities, affordability, affordability, affordability. I'm here to tell you, I don't care who it is. As a UMBW, I'm here to give you facts. 99.9% sure the prices ain't going down. You may see the prices go down of one product or two products, but the prices aren't going down. The prices of housing aren't going down. I'm seeing people on TV talk about, hey, if we just had a better supply chain, the prices would go down. If we just had a better supply chain, that $500,000 house is not going to cost you $500,000 next year. It'll cost you $450 or $400. Let me ask you something. If you are a builder and you could build this house, and today you build this house and you build it for $500,000, and next year the supplies are cheaper, the wages, let's say that the wages, you just so happen to be able to get the wages to go up, right? You're going to pay people better, but the supplies go down. Are you telling me you're actually going to sell that house to me for $500,000? I mean, for $450? Where they do that at? Where they do that at? The house today, I can build the house today for $500. You telling me next year I'm actually going to build the house and sell it for $450? Where they do that at? Y'all are kind of quiet in the chat. That's okay. I get it. But let's be real. As UMBWs over here, we are real over here. The prices aren't going down. They're just not. Then the Republicans want to talk about the 50-year mortgage. Now, I happen to be in the mortgage business, so I can talk to you about the 50-year mortgages. Donald Trump floated out the 50-year mortgages. He was on Laura Ingraham talking about the 50-year mortgages. And, he said, yeah, there are mortgages out of 40 years. And Laura Ingraham said 30. And there were a whole bunch of people that said, Donald Trump is so out of touch. He doesn't even know that the mortgages are 30 years. The truth is there are 40-year mortgages. The super majority of people don't use 40-year mortgages, but they exist. But if we are having people say, and it's true, that you're going to pay more interest with the 50-year mortgages than the 30-year mortgages, that's true. But number one, Donald Trump throws a lot of stuff out to see what sticks, right? So we don't know. Until the 50-year mortgages are in the guidelines, I'm not really putting much thought into that. The second thing is, for some people, a 50-year mortgage may be the way that they get into homeownership. So as somebody who does mortgages, I would say to you, like, hey, if you can do 30 years, do 30 years. If you could do 15 years, do 15 years. But if you need a 50-year mortgage so that you could get in the game, so that you could participate in appreciation, then let's consider that. Because you have a whole lot of people over here talking about, well, you're going to have to pay another X number of dollars in interest. Well, let me ask you this: 50 years from now, when you're sitting on your deathbed and you've paid rent for 50 years and you don't have an asset to show for it, then what? So again, the Republicans ain't much better with helping you get to affordability. They're not. The Democrats suck. The Republicans aren't much better with helping you get to affordability. The only way that you're going to be able to get to affordability is to get on your game and get your own personal income up. Because the prices ain't coming down. They ain't coming down. They ain't coming down. I'm going to greet you all. Sugar St. James is saying hello. Thanks so much for this live. You are welcome. Bajar Mills, where do you from? I don't know what you mean by that, but okay. Hey, Denise, good to see you. Hey, Data Girl T. Hey, Danielle. Ash Love is in the building. Hello. Both parties are not helping, and neither party is going to help. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about this as well. I got a couple of videos to show you ladies with regards to this. We just gonna be honest about this, right? Denise is saying the home builders in Charlotte, example told, shifted to luxury apartments. Yes. Yes. You're telling me they're going to build something today for $500,000 and then next year they're all of a sudden is magically going to go down to $400,000. Lies they tell. Oh, if we just had so much more supply of housing. You honestly think that the builders, the people who dole out the money to the politician, the builders would let that happen? All right. So look, that's Cherie and the conspiracy theory. They may let in certain pockets the housing prices go down, but not nationwide. Not nationwide. So, all right, I want to show you all a couple of things. The first is, let me see here. I should have had this set up here. Okay, the first thing is Trump was on Laura Ingram's show. I don't know if you all saw this. And he was talking about the fact that the United States has no talent. We don't have talented people. He said this on Fox News, y'all. This is why I said the Democrats suck and the Republicans aren't much better, right? Let's see what Donald Trump has to say with regards to the H-1B visas. Make sure that this is on normal. Yes, it is.
People to do that.
Does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent.
When we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have. You don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well, I'll give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. You know, making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing and very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it.
First of all, a Republican woman who was running for local seat, I think, their state Senate seat, she was the one that called ICE. Second, the people, the Koreans that were there, that were building the factory, were still illegal. They did not have paperwork. Now, there are people who said that those Korean individuals were supposed to get paperwork, and the Biden administration said, oh, we can't get it done fast enough, blah, blah, blah. But let's be real. Those individuals in Georgia were called on by a fellow Republican, and they did not have paperwork to be in the United States. There is truth to that, right? The second thing is Donald Trump said with his whole chest on Fox News, you don't have talented people. No, you don't. You can't take somebody who's been unemployed for 5 years and set him up to build missiles. Let me ask you a question. Because he's been talking to Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Let's be real, because this is the same stuff that Vivek and Elon said, right? During it was actually last Christmas. Was it the day after Christmas last year that this whole thing blew up about the H-1B visas? So, your president, my president, our president basically said on Fox News again that we don't have talented people in the United States. Now, when this whole thing came up with Elon Musk last year, I said, and I stand by it, my UMBWs, our goal should not be to work for Elon Musk. Our goal should not be to work for Vivek Ramaswamy. Our goal should not be to work for these big companies, because these companies are toxic. They do want to bring in cheaper labor. That is true, which is why you need skills and networks to get in with a mid-sized company or a small company. Now, should it be that way? Should we be able to go work anywhere? Yes, absolutely. But let's deal with realism. Realistically, we have to be smart about how we maneuver in 2025, 2026 America. The prices ain't going down. The Democrats don't care about you. The Republicans don't care about you. I was looking at the news and they had something where the Republicans are doing this thing, make America wealthy again. I've read the articles like this long. It wasn't that long, right? There's a K-shaped economy. The K-shaped economy is real. There are K-shaped consumers. The rich are getting richer. The poor are getting poorer. All of that stuff is true. If you're going to look at being a have or a have not, I'm just here to help as many of you as possible become people who are haves. Become people who actually have the money to be able to go to the grocery store, pay your electric bill. My mortgage went up $100 a month this month because of either taxes or insurance. I have to figure out which one it is. Thank God I wasn't hyperventilating about that $100, but there are a lot of people who are. There are a lot of people who would see their mortgage go up because their taxes or insurance went up $100, and the value of our house went up as well. So, it may be taxes that went up, property taxes. But we have to get farther away from the impoverished line and the poverty line. So Ashley was saying, make sure your credit is good. Notary World in the building saying he's tripping. Mr. Health Wellness, I'm in Georgia. They were all legal. I read that they did not have documentation. They didn't have there was an understanding between the Biden administration and the Korean people that were in that Georgia plant, but they didn't have like technical visas. That's my understanding of what happened there. Notary World is saying they were just here to build the infrastructure and train the talent. Yes, that is true. That is true. I did hear that. Notary World saying, I didn't vote for this clown. Well, look, he's here. He's here. Who knows if he's going to run again or not? We'll see what happens, right? Yes, these companies always recycle their workers and policies. That's true. Hey, Fitness, how you doing? How you doing? So it's very interesting. I had some notes here. It's very interesting that Trump says that, hey, the United States doesn't have any talent. We have to train people and things like that. Put a one in the chat if you heard, for example, that the state of Israel is allegedly paying people $7,000 to post about, um, you know, Israel and things like that. My question is, where is the nationwide push for young men to go into the trades? Where are the $7,000 posts for the social media people? Start Fresh and Fit, Anton Daniels. Who else is in the MAGA? Matt Walsh in them. Where are the posts from them to push young men into the trades? Where are the posts for the young women who, are basically shaping and encouraging other young women to either go to cosmetology school or learn AI or, whatever it is? Yeah, Ashlove, none. Years ago, I heard this, and it is absolutely true. Where people put their money, that's what they believe in, and that's where their heart is. Where people put their money, that's what they believe in, and that's what where their money goes. Let me ask you a question. What do you see the United States spending money on? If the whole thing is we're going to make America great again, right? We're going to make America great again. Great. Where is the money going? Where are the tax dollars going? Because anytime they want to do a major campaign, they know how to contact the right TikTok influencers to say, hey, look at what we're doing with ICE. Hey, look at what we're doing over here with this and over here with this. But where are the major campaigns when it comes to actually like redirecting the country into, us doing big things, us creating big things, us getting more people into engineering if that's what's needed? These things aren't happening. They're not happening. So, yes, I vote. But I'm not under any illusion that the Democrats or the Republicans are coming to save us. Yeah, Ashla, they're going into foreign investments. This is not a serious country and it's being exposed. We're not a serious country. We're not. We're not. And your president doesn't believe that you overall and us overall are talented enough to do these jobs. So they're going to bring in certain cheaper labor, which if you've looked at the comments underneath these kinds of conversations, you discover that cheaper labor that they're bringing in, they're not talented either. They're not as talented either. They're just cheaper. But it's messy. It's messy. Messy. The big thing I just really wanted to make sure that you knew was that the prices aren't going down. Sometime later on this week, I am going to come and I'm going to do a live stream about affordable home ownership. And I'm going to talk about affordable home ownership and what that looks like. I am, again, a mortgage loan officer, so I can speak with that with some sort of authority. It'll be one day around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon where I'm going to come and do a half-hour live stream with regard to affordable home ownership and what you need to do in order to get into a home and make it affordable for your budget. But the biggest thing is there's only so much we can do to reduce your spending in your house. If you're not making enough money, if your credit sucks, there's nothing that we can do for you. But if you have decent credit, I'm going to say anything over 640, preferably. If you, and 640 is not decent credit, but 640 or above, then let's work on some affordable home ownership. Let's work on some solutions that you're able to do within your household. Maybe a couple of you get together and actually, figure it out. Maybe it's you and your mom, you and your dad, you and a sibling. Erica Williams, whom we're big fans of on this channel, Erica Williams has been talking about the fact that if you are not an owner in the United States, you are economically irrelevant. She didn't use that specific terminology, but that's the terminology I'm using. If you are not an owner in the United States, you are becoming economically irrelevant. And if you are economically irrelevant, you are quickly going to become politically irrelevant. So being an owner, owning a home, owning a business, owning something, owning investments. The reason the rich get richer and the poor gets poorer, the stock market's up, the stock market's up. Well, guess what? 44%, I think, of Americans aren't even in the stock market. So you have this disconnect of the people on Fox Business and Fox News and CNBC saying, but the market's up, we're doing okay, and other people are struggling. And the biggest disconnect that those two groups have are skills and networks. Skills and networks. So if you want to make an end run, you got to work on your skills and your networks. What about owning a condo? It depends on the condo fees, because some of the condo fees I've seen $800 to $1,000 a month for the condo fees. That's not the mortgage included. Okay. It depends on like who makes up the board of that condo, because some condos can be all right, I don't like somebody spamming my chat here, so I might have to ban you. Okay. It depends on the condo, depends on the condo fees, and it depends on there's a lot of deferred maintenance a lot of times with condos, so you have to be careful of that as well. So I know a lot of people who will not buy condos. I know people who will not buy homes in HOA areas as well. I know other people, because of where they live, you want to have that HOA. So it really does depend. But that's my thought about that. I want to talk about, the special assessments. Yep, the special assessments of those deferred maintenance things. And I've seen it as a mortgage loan officer. I've seen those special assessments. And there can be issues with getting financing for condos. So, and yes, that is true. Many condos don't allow owners to rent them out, or they'll allow them to sublease them, but only for long-term renters and not short-term renters and things like that. So condos can definitely get messy. I do want to say one more thing. Let me see if I can show this to you ladies here. So President Trump did sign an executive order around foster care. And I was looking for information about it because I got kind of excited because I was reading the comments when I first saw the video in the news about it. But there's very little information about what the foster care executive order had. I got excited because the comments were suggesting that the foster care executive order was about, how children in foster care turn 18 years old, and then they have to leave their foster family, and even before they have graduated from high school. I thought the executive order was meant to stop that from happening, but that's not the case. They're working with the First Lady, and the 3 articles I read about it was very, very thin with regards to what they're doing with foster care. But one thing that they're doing with foster care is when somebody turns 18, 19, 20, they are going to set up technology and resources for them to be able to get jobs and things like that. I don't think the executive order went far enough. So I was planning on giving some kudos to the Trump administration with regards to foster care until I started not looking at the headlines, but reading the articles. And I'm like, these articles aren't saying anything with regards to what's in these foster care executive orders. So I am back to the Republicans aren't much better. Because I truly did intend to give the Republicans their kudos with regards to helping foster children, especially if it was going to be a situation where that 18-year-old, he or she is in high school. They want to finish high school. They're not problematic. The foster parents want them to continue living there until they graduate from high school. Like, I'm team, let the foster kid continue to live with the foster family until that young person has graduated from high school. I'm okay with paying, y'all already get enough taxes from me, but having our tax money go to that foster kid continuing to get services, until they graduate from high school, things like that. But yeah. All right. Put a 1 in the chat if I can be messy. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all want me to be straight-laced and not be messy. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to be messy, if I can be messy with you ladies. Put a 2 in the chat if you're like, Cherie, no, don't be messy. This is Black Women Making Money. We are upstanding young women here. Oh goodness. So I'm seeing the ones. Good. Y'all saying one, be messy. Okay. All right. Hey, dark and lovely. Good to see you. Y'all. Did y'all see? Let me open this up here. Gotta get a bigger picture than this. Hold on a second. Hold on. I was supposed to get a bigger picture than this. I forgot. I apologize, ladies. Damn it. Okay, I wanted to show y'all the picture of Erica Kirk and JD Vance, but I wanted a bigger picture. Why am I not seeing a bigger picture? I pulled the pictures of, I want to talk about Usha Vance. Here we go. Okay. I'm sorry. Usually I have all my stuff together, but tonight I'm failing y'all. All right, why not? All right. Did y'all see JD Vance and Erica Kirk? So if you don't know who these people are, JD Vance is your president of the United States. And he was given a very, very close hug to the widow of Charlie Kirk, a woman by the name of Erica Kirk. Put a 3 in the chat if you heard about this, if you saw the pictures. Put a 4 in the chat if you don't know what we're talking about. Put a 3 in the chat if you saw the hug that broke the internet a couple of weeks ago of them hugging as if she slept with, yeah. So y'all saw. Okay, good. In the hot pants too. Yes, exactly. We probably should have shown a full video of this, but it's not my point right now. We are going to keep it a little professional. Okay. So apparently the story is that JD Vance was at the TPUSA event, right? And part of my mess is, this is Cherie's thinking, over the summertime, the MAGA women got into a fight. If you don't know, if you don't keep up with politics and you don't keep up with the messy part of politics, the MAGA women got into a fight on Twitter, right? There were 4 MAGA women that got into a fight on Twitter. And 2 of them were talking about the salacious stuff that was happening. When I say salacious, I mean actual, that was happening at the TPUSA events. People swapping, people doing all sorts of stuff at the TPUSA events. So this was like my dirty mind. Yes. When I heard this whole conversation, right? But apparently, JD Vance is, he's trying to fill in the void of Charlie Kirk, right? And Erica Kirk now runs TPUSA, Turning Point USA. And they had their big conference. So JD Vance, Erica Kirk was introducing JD Vance, and JD Vance comes on the stage and she runs her fingers through his hair, and they were pelvis to pelvis in the hug. It wasn't the church hug. You know how you're like, hey, Deacon so-and-so, or hey, Mr. So-and-so, and you got the side. No, they were pelvis to pelvis, right? Yeah, we being messy. But I want to talk to you about the business of marriage. I haven't done the business of marriage conversation in a long time. Because during his speech at Turning Point USA, he mentioned his wife, Usha, who was there witnessing the pelvis to pelvis. Okay. But he talks about Usha. And he talks about the fact that she is Hindu. And when they first got married, they were both agnostic. And now he has become a Christian. And she's still agnostic Hindu. And how he's hoping that she becomes Christian, but he's not going to force her to become Christian, but he hopes that she does. And it got me to thinking, as a UMBW, which is why I want to start the business of marriage sessions again as well. You may marry a man and 10, 15 years later, he flips the script on you, right? And it occurred to me when I was watching this, I'm going to show you these pictures here, make this super big here for y'all to see. This was JD Vance on his wedding day, right? This was him however many years ago, maybe 10 years ago, right? Put a 5 in the chat if you think this guy got a lot of play in high school and college. Put a 6 in the chat if you're like, nah. Put a 5 in the chat if you think he got a lot. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to be messy tonight, but I have a point. I have a point for my UMBWs. Put a 5 in the chat if you think he got a lot of play in high school and college. Put a 6 in the chat if you like, nah. Put a 5 in the chat if you think he got a lot of play. Put a 6 in the chat if you like, nah, he didn't get a lot of play in high school and college. Ash Love says 5. You think he got a lot of play? You say he was a party boy? 6, 6, 6. I don't think this is not the face of a guy who got a lot of play. He may have been a party boy, but do you honestly think he got a lot of play? Or do you think Usha Vance said, okay, I'm gonna marry the goofy white boy? She probably felt she got to come up. He may have felt he got to come up as well. He gets to marry this woman. She's very pretty, blah, blah, blah. Very accomplished. He met her at Yale, blah, 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 right? At the time that he married her, he probably did not have either any political ambitions or none of, or not, his political ambitions were not as high as they are today. Because my understanding is after Yale, he went to do different things and ended up in private equity, right? And now that he wants to be president of the United States, now that it's like right there, all of a sudden, the wife that he chose does not fit the constituency and the image that he needs to cultivate. This is Cherie being messy. This is also Cherie's opinion, right? And I'm going to bring this to you. This is a messy money topic, but it's a very serious topic about the business of marriage. The interesting thing about the Usha Vance story, this is, I'm going to show you this here, make this big. Big fat Indian wedding, Thanksgiving photo of JD Vance with wife Usha's Indian family goes viral. So, and I have a reason for showing you this. This is JD Vance, and most people know that JD Vance's mother had a very, very bad drug problem, right? So I don't know how close he is to his family, but he's fully ingratiated in her family, right? This is a picture of her and her family. This is my point with this conversation. Usha Vance is Yale educated. Usha Vance clerked at different, with different justices, including, I think, Justice Kavanaugh. Usha Vance is somebody until JD Vance announced his bid to be vice president with President Trump, which was just 2024. Usha Vance was on legal teams litigating complex cases with technology and things like that. Usha Vance is an upwardly mobile woman. Okay? There are a lot of people out there in the red pill who will have you, oh, you shouldn't get a college degree. Oh, you shouldn't have your stuff together. Oh, you shouldn't, you should just let the man lead you and all of this stuff. Let me say this to you. Usha Vance is in a situation right now, in my opinion, from what I see, where her husband's political ambitions may cause him to say, you know what? I would do better with someone who looks like and is more like Erica Kirk than I would with you, a la starter wives. However, Usha Vance has 3 kids, but Usha Vance, I wanted to make this point. Usha Vance has 3 kids, but if JD Vance decides to leave, Usha Vance will not skip a beat. Why? Because Usha Vance has skills and networks. Usha Vance has this huge village that will take care of her and that will lift her up. The point that I have with Usha Vance, the messy money topic that I want to bring to a serious topic is this. When we are looking at a mate, or y'all are looking at a mate, because I ain't looking for anybody, you may start off with this. You may start off thinking, hey, I'm, leveling up this person. He and I are on the same level. He's agnostic, I'm agnostic, or whatever it is you think you are equally yoked. And you may find yourself 10 years from now, 15 years from now, with your husband like this. I want to level up, but the wife I chose 10, 15 years ago is going to hinder my level up. And I see, thank goodness, I see from the comments that you all are understanding what I'm saying. This is the reason why you never, ever 100% depend on a man for your existence and your kids' existence. Am I saying that Usha and JD are getting a divorce? No, because I don't know them. Am I saying, that if he does divorce her, he's not going to pay child support? No, because I don't know them. What I am saying, though, is this is a lesson and a message for all of us that this man married this woman, and now things have shifted. And if you saw the video of her when he was talking, JD was talking about her, and they panned at Usha when he was talking about the fact that he wished that she would become a Christian. She did not look happy. She looked like Negro, please. And you may be in a position where you marry someone today, and 10, 15 years from now, they flip the script on you. And you have to be in a position, no matter what, to be able to take care of yourself and your children, no matter what. No matter what. So I am going to read the rest of your comments, and then we're going to head on out because I got stuff to do. Mr. Health Wellness, based on who he married, he got no play. I don't think Usha was, I think Usha's pretty, so I don't know. I've never heard her speak. I don't know anything about her, but no, I don't think he got any play though. I think he was that guy that was a little weird. That's what I got from the picture. And that wasn't the only picture that I saw. I've seen other pictures of him a long time ago, but he looked like a little goofy guy. And he was a little goofy guy from West Virginia that had no contacts, no money, no nothing. He started from the bottom, and he's quite techie in addition. Yeah. Like Aisha Curry, she thought Steph was going to be a gym teacher when they got married. That's true. That's true. Now, people constantly saying that Aisha Curry is embarrassing Steph Curry. There are things that Aisha said that I did not personally have a problem with, but I also think if Steph doesn't have a problem with it, then who am I, right? So, but yeah, now Steph Curry is some big superstar, and things switched up. They certainly have. The luxury bucket list is saying, I think he's a social climber. He came from Appalachian Mountains. He was determined to change classes, and she was part of that. Now he's able to get to a level he didn't know he could reach. This is very true. This is very true. And there's nothing wrong with being a social climber. I'm a social climber. I'm an upwardly mobile person. I think we should all be upwardly mobile people. Just understand that if you are an upwardly mobile Black woman and you marry an upwardly mobile man, he may switch up the game on you. That's the only thing I'm saying. He may switch up on you 10 years from now. I when I was teenager, I went to church. Like I went to church all the time. Like I grew up in the church, and there was this new associate pastor that came, and he was there for about a year. He had a beautiful Black wife. I mean, this woman was beautiful, and he had two beautiful daughters. I'll never forget it. And one day, the wife let it slip to me. I don't know if I was there by myself or other people were there, but she said, my husband said that I'm hindering his ministry. So I said to him, good luck with him and his ministry. This is what she told me. And, look, this thing happens all the time where people will switch up on you. You think you're going into the marriage and, like one way, and all of a sudden, zoop, whole different thing happening. So you think Usha married down? I have no idea. I don't know if MAGA sees that picture. He might not have a chance in Hades for the presidency. I don't think they'll care. Vance gonna eat. I don't know. Right. Aisha's now going through the stages of grief of the life she wanted. I've heard that. I have. Vance came from the gutter. He latched on for Usha to get out of those mountains, and now he's putting out vibes that he'll pivot if he has to. That's the game. No victims in the story. Well, this is true. So I don't know about the no victims because, like I said, I don't know much about Usha, but he absolutely monkey branched. He absolutely monkey branched, and he got a family with Usha. He got a family. The family probably, opened up their arms, embraced him, and all of that. And now he's monkey branch, but he's in a position now where he's like, I have political aspirations. I want to be president of the United States, but I have to get through a primary, and who's going to vote for me within the primary? And he's looking at the turning point people, and they like him, but we don't think they're feeling her. So what does he do? Right? Aisha's a good girl type who realized she didn't get anything in return. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know about that. Fitness is saying she will be better off. Usha will be better off. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know enough about them in order to say if she'll be better off or not. The point that I wanted to make is Usha's going to survive. And the reason Usha is going to survive is because she has skills and networks. So my suggestion to anybody is don't get married and have kids, especially don't have kids without skills and networks. Ash Love thinks that Vance is using Usha. They may have used each other. That's what Luxury Bucket List said. They used each other. They may have used each other. I don't know. I don't know enough about them. So men always switch up. This is true. This is true. The sprinkle lady always said, beware the switch up. This is true. Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Usha wins no matter what. If he leaves, she will have a profitable divorce and an excellent career. If not, she would be a disappointment to be a great legal mind. Yeah, I think that she wins. I think that she has won. I think she has. She's a beautiful woman. Too bad she didn't wait longer to find a better match. Again, I don't know enough about them when they got married to know, like, if they were matched or not. I don't know enough about that. I think both understood what the other could offer. Not everything is looks focused, and I think it is. And I don't think it is. That's true. That's true. Those are broke men projecting their feelings onto Steph Curry. He's not embarrassed. This is what Aisha says, that Steph is not embarrassed. Like, I haven't seen anything to say Steph is or isn't, but I don't follow them. Like, unless something comes across my my timeline that I just so happen to click on, I have no idea. Ash Love, everyone is not a social climber. Everyone wants to be a social climber, but everyone is not a social climber. So I would push back on you with that. They want to be, but they're not. So, yeah. All righty then. So that was the show for today, or is the show for today. I'll see y'all next week for another Money Monday topic. I will be coming back later on this week to talk about affordable home ownership. Yeah. So thanks so much, ladies. Don't forget to put the click the like on your way out. Thank you so much. And I'll see you all for the next live stream. Take care. Bye.